Yo, it's your boy, Furious Styles, aka POW, Prisoner of War. This is brought to you by Death Before Bondage. Truth sounds like hate to people who hate the truth. We sick, boss. We's definitely sick. On to another video. Black Genocide, State of Emergency. There is a lot of talk during these times about heteronormativity, what should take priority in the black community, right? Heterosexuality, interracial, homosexuality. What should take precedent in the black community? What will get us where we need to go the fastest? What car should the black community take to the road of success? Different sources and articles will tell you that black people make up 14% of the population. You have some sources and articles that we make up 13.4% of the population. And you got some sources and articles that says black people make up more than all the numbers I just named, that we make up 14+% of the population, right? But the U.S. Census Bureau just recently updated, or their most recently updated article report says that black people are 12.4% of the population. They say that we make up 41 million people in America. That we are at 41 million. Well, that is what we call a state of emergency, folks. The definition to emergency: a sudden, serious, and dangerous event or situation that needs immediate action to deal with it. Now, in this experiment, the cake is the black population. Nah, the way we move through the experiment will be based off of black culture. Because every population or race, their vehicle to success is the culture that they implement to themselves. Right? Let me say that one more time. Every race or nation uses culture to drive to success. It's like a defense mechanism. Culture protects races from themselves, right? So even if the race is not that focused or dedicated, the culture will instill that focus and that dedication. Culture, the ideas, customs, social behavior of a particular people or society. So in other words, people use culture to navigate. Nations and races use culture to navigate through society. It's their GPS, if you will. Now, the conclusion to my experiment could be one of these two things: either racial genocide or racial longevity. It can't be both. Can't be neither. Has to be one of them. So here are the rules of this experiment. We can only navigate from slice to slice using black American culture. Right? If we can't find one slice that represents a healthy black couple, traditional healthy black couple, and a traditional set of kids that's mentally healthy, I just need one slice. If I can find one slice on this cake that represent a black couple with healthy kids, we are saved. That will ensure us racial longevity. Because we procreate, right? We know how to procreate. That's one thing we know how to do. You feel me? But for real. Nah. if we can't find one slice that represents a black couple and healthy black kids, well, that would be the end of our race. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. We starting off with my little experiment, the black population cake. Let's get it going. What if I told you that black love was healthier and stronger when we was in chains? What if I told you that black love was healthier and stronger when we were getting hung from trees? Yes, black love was stronger when we was in chains and getting hung from trees than it is today, 2022. Right? The divorce rate in the black community is very high. Black woman is the most divorced demographic, but they still are having babies and having abortions. But that's to the next topic. Yeah. That could be a problem. That doesn't spell healthy kids, right? That doesn't equate to healthy communities. So the second one is deadbeat dads, or you could say absent fathers, right? Deadbeat dads or absent fathers, same thing. They both put some type of trauma or unhealthy condition, mental condition on the kid. So there is a myth aspect to this, and there is a reality aspect. The myth aspect is that black men at an astronomical amount or number are deadbeat and absent fathers. That is a myth. The reality is too many black men are absent or deadbeat fathers. Right? So you gotta find that common ground. Me specifically, I don't personally hang out or know any deadbeat or absent fathers, but I do know for sure a lot of deadbeat and absent fathers. Know of them, right? But they're not in my circle, is what I'm saying. So it's real out here. I'm not saying that it don't exist and it's a myth. I'm just saying there is a myth aspect of it and there is a reality aspect of it. And the reality aspect of it is the reason why I'm putting it on this cake as something that don't equate to healthy parents and healthy kids. Because that's what we might need to raise up that 13, 14, or 12.4%. Whichever one that we are. And now we are on the swirl. Interracial couples. No, for real. Let's get back to it. We are on the swirl. Interracial couples. Nah. I don't want to offend anybody. But in most scenarios in life, whole is better than half, and two is better than one. Now, I love black people. I think black people are special. I think we are amazing. Everything that we've been through, everything that we have triumphed from. So, if you have two black parents, that has to be better than just having one black parent. Because I think that we are the shiznit, right? I think we are a very special people from the Most High God. Look how powerful and special we is. We just gotta wake up. But to stay on topic, yes, it is more constructive to have two amazing black parents opposed to just having one parent. One amazing parent. Not to say that anybody else is not amazing. I'm just biased and selfish to my own people. I think that we are amazing. Right? Plus, interracial mingling, dating, and procreation have been used globally as a way to wipe out populations. This is not from my words, so this is not from my this is not my truth, this is just truth, right? This is just truth. So if that was used to wipe out populations genetically, visually, right? I can assume that it can be used as a weapon, especially a lot of TV programs, movies, commercials, advertising ads are pushing interracial dating, interracial mingling, interracial procreation. I think that's fair for me to say that it's not beneficial. When you can have two amazing things, why not have two amazing things? Why would you only have one amazing thing? We are genetically strong, intelligent, resourceful, resilient. And not even from just a genetic aspect. How about a political aspect? Right? These black women had babies with two Proud Boys. Now, yes, there are a lot of closet racists out here, by the way, too. So you'll never know if you're procreating with a racist. I think that's fair, right? That's possible. You could procreate with someone who don't like black people, right? Sex and lust has nothing to do with love, right? So, let's say these kids grow up and they're passing for white. In other words, you don't know if they're black and you don't know if they're white. How do we know that their dad's racist and conservative views don't poison them to make them more tools of white supremacy? It's a possibility, is all I'm saying. By any stretch of the imagination, I mean, there is something that I have in common with most people that's going to listen to this video, probably, if they're black, right? We both came out of heterosexual black parents. That's the common thread out of a lot of us if you're listening to this video. And if you're black, we all came out of black heterosexual parents. So why wouldn't I see that as a benefit?
Incarceration means that we've got a very high rate of incarceration historically, comparatively. And the other thing is the rate of incarceration is so high, so socially concentrated, that we're no longer incarcerating the individual, but we're incarcerating whole social groups. The rate of incarceration now is about 5 times higher than it was historically. Historically, it was 100 per 100,000. Now it's about 500 per 100,000. If we look at prison, if we add jail to that, it's about 700 per 100,000. Nowhere in the world incarcerates as much as we do. We've seen extremely high rates of exposure to the criminal justice system for African American men with very low levels of schooling. So if we think about black men who were born in the late 1970s and who are growing up through the American prison boom of the 1980s and the 1990s, the chances that they're going to serve time in state or federal prison if they dropped out of high school is about 70%. So going to prison for that group of black men with very low levels of schooling, that's become a normal life event. And that's really only happened in the last 10 years. We're at this point now where there's about 1.2 million African American children with a pair who's incarcerated. That's about 1 in 9. The research shows that kids who experience parental incarceration have diminished school achievement, they have behavioural problems, depressive symptoms, acting out, and there's also evidence that these kinds of negative effects associated with parental incarceration are concentrated more among boys than among girls. And there's a very real risk here that incarceration becomes an inherited trait. The underlying issue is we've chosen prison as a way to respond to that problem of crime. And there are a whole variety of ways that we could have chosen to respond to that problem of crime. We've chosen the response of the deprivation of liberty. And we've chosen the response of the deprivation of liberty for a historically aggrieved group whose liberty in the United States was never firmly established to begin with.
The prison system took a lot of black men from their families and their communities. Some will say black men's decisions took them from their families and their communities. But if you dig deep, you will see how racism is poisoned and affected into the fabric of America, right? You will see there are states that disproportionately has 13 to 11% of black people, but somehow black people still make up 80% of the arrests and the drug arrests and all that, right? So how can you see all around America where black people don't even make up a big percent of these populations, but somehow they make up a large percent of the arrests? That's due from profiling. And the great Michelle Alexander talks about that in the New Jim Crow. Whenever America wants to lock up black or brown people, they just create a thing and then proceed as war on drugs, stop and frisk, war on terror, Me Too movement. Don't get these things confused with anything that got to do with justice, due process, or doing what's right. No. These are all white supremacy gadgets to lock us up, take us away from our families, take us away from our communities. So in short, prison also is something part of black American culture, and it does not produce two healthy black parents or two healthy black kids. Are you starting to see the trend that nothing in our culture so far produces anything that would help us proceed in the future? Unfortunately, we are on to the next one where unfortunately murder is part of black American culture. And we rap about murder, sing about it, movies, right? We kill our brothers. Sometimes our sister, our 500-year enemy, he kills us, right? Yes, America is a part of American culture. I talked about that in the last video. We're going to make this murder one short because I'm tired of talking about black people getting murdered. But yes, black people getting murdered is something that takes the black man or the black woman away from the household. Whenever we're murdered, whether it be from another black man, a black person, whether it be from a police officer, a doctor, murder is murder. The black woman don't lead in abortion, but she makes up over half of the abortions in America, and the black woman is only a 7% to 8% population. How can a 7 to 8% population make up well over half of abortions? So to be fair, this doesn't go at the accountability of the black woman. They go at the accountability of the black man and the black woman. We both got to take our part in bringing people into this world and then eliminating them before they get to this world. We both play a part in that. So, on my second from my last slice, one more slice left after this one, we have homosexuality. Now, can homosexuality give me 2 black healthy parents? I don't know. That's up for discussion. Maybe, right? I don't know. 2 gay parents? I don't know. But one thing that I do know, unfortunately, is homosexuality can't get you any kids. Now I know there's adoption, artificial insemination, and surrogacy, right? I get it. But unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. You have to be able to produce kids without any Western technology like that, right? So that's where we're gonna go with that. Last and not least, the corrupt political system, preferably the Democrats, not the Democrats, the Democrats. These Democrats push promiscuity, alternative sex, if you know what I mean. They push kids to be gender confused. Just literally the fruit out the poisonous tree, if you ask me. They took the black man out the household. The corrupt political system definitely creates unhealthy black kids, without a doubt. Unfortunately, this is part of black culture.
Have to get liberated from them from. They haven't been eyeballs. That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women, because then everybody started going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. You have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farm, and they keep that family together. But in the black community, they make it a requirement, because they want to keep endorsing into the black community that the black man is no good, and that he is not deserving of respect, he is not deserving of us letting him give us any protection or instruction, and that we are better than them.
Well, I regret to inform you that we lost. Racial genocide prevailed. Right? Racial genocide prevailed. We couldn't find one slice that represented black love, which will equate to black children, which will equate to black family, which will equate to black communities, which will equate to a stronger black race. So we didn't win, family. We didn't win. Remember, culture is the vehicle, the car that nations or races or demographics use to get to a destination or to reach success. However you want to phrase that. What did I learn from the experiment? 1. I learned that everything black people allow, tolerate, or condone in America is counterproductive or destructive to our race. Mentally, spiritually, economically, physically, and genetically counterproductive and destructive. 2. Culture is like a car. Races and demographics and nations use their car to navigate through society. They use their culture to navigate through society. Black Americans doesn't have a car. Black Americans have a white supremacy jigsaw trap, because sometimes it's hard to bring your people with you. And most of these white supremacy traps, there is a survival of the fittest complex. There is a I'm on my own, I have to worry about myself complex. Most of the slices represented one of two things. Eliminates the black man's power to procreate with a black woman and have a baby. Eliminate the black baby because they eventually grow up and eventually have babies themselves. It also eliminates spaces and conditions for mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong black babies. 4. The Democrats contributed to more than 80% of the slices. 5. When you're bleeding, it's human nature to stop the bleeding. Right now, Black America is bleeding, but we are too brainwashed with our identity groups, our political groups, our intersectionality to care about the black as a whole, as a nation, right? We're bleeding. 12.4, rather we're 12.4, 14%, 13.4%, we are bleeding as a nation. Shout out to Umoja, formerly known as Anan. I got her book, Black Love is a Revolutionary Act. Family, this experiment was very serious, and it should let you know where we at. The only way to save the black race is black love. And unfortunately, right now, it has to be a heterosexual, traditional black love that will get us out this hole, right? Unfortunately. So, we have to focus. Make sure you buy this book. This book is not expensive and it's very detailed, right? It talks about mainly how black love equals black family. Well, I would say black love equals black kids. Black kids equal black family. Black family equals black neighborhood. Black neighborhood equals black community. Black community equals black race. But it has to start with that black man and that black woman coming together. That's where it starts. That's where the first blood will be drawn in this war against white supremacy. Is the black man and the black woman loving themselves and then loving each other. That's where we'll win in this war. Thank you. Now we're about to go on to what is the greatest threat to white supremacy.
Why do you love me? That's a simple question.
It is a simple question, but it ain't a simple answer. Because of how you love me. It's a very, it's a very spiritual love. I've been through a lot, and you never see me for what I've been through. You know, you see me for the best that I give to the world and I give to my family. And when everything starts to weigh on me, you kind of, you breathe life back into me. That's why I love you. I love you because you're you. I love you because you're you to me. I just love you because you're a gift that I get to experience in this life until I don't anymore, until I meet you again. And I'm the woman and you're the man.
Don't do that.
So that's why I love you. This thing was it's God engineering. So it's perfect.
Oh, babe.
Y'all gonna make me cry.
So my final
Awesome,
thoughts
guys. I'm gonna cut
and
this thing.
conclusions and results. The greatest threat to white supremacy is black love and the black family, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, healthy black kids, right? That is the greatest threat to America. Healthy black babies. That's the greatest threat to America. That's what this whole cake is about. This whole cake is about preventing healthy black families. This whole society is about preventing healthy black families, healthy black kids. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole experiment tells me, that they want to stop. They want to stop. They created a system of counterproductivity, and they brainwashed us to think that engaging in this counterproductive system, we're actually doing something, right? This is not about just pointing the finger at the white man and white supremacy and blah, blah, blah. This is about looking at yourselves in the mirror. This video is more about looking at yourself in the mirror. Because we are engaging in self-genocide. Everything the black man and black woman went through in slavery, we are doing right now on our own. In slavery, the white man killed us. Now we killing ourselves. In slavery, the white man sodomized us and cut off our genitals. Now we cutting off our own genitals. In slavery, the black woman was sexually exploited by the white man. Now she sexually exploits herself. In slavery, the white man cut the baby out the stomach of the slave woman, threw the baby on the ground, stumped his head, killed the baby. Now black women are killing their own babies, unfortunately. Right? In slavery, they emasculated us. Now we emasculate ourselves. Right? In slavery, we didn't trust each other. We wasn't unified because of Willie Lynch type of practices. Now, we divide ourselves with I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a Libertarian, I'm a feminist, I'm a LGBT. No, Negro, you black. You black in America. That's what you are. You're black in America. Right? You are a black man in America. You're a black woman in America. You're a black boy in America. You're a black girl in America. And we are still fighting for things that our forefathers couldn't live long enough to accomplish or see through. If we're not fighting for the longevity of our race, I don't know why talking about genetics and longevity and preserving your race is so taboo in our community, but we better get on it. because we are in a state of emergency. Make no mistake about it. These are my final thoughts. It's your boy, Furious POW. Prisoner of war. Truth sounds like hate to people who hate the truth. We sick, boss. Master sick, now we sick. And the only immunity is unity.